Welcome everybody. This is a video listing my top 10 league starters for the 320 expansion Forbidden Sanctum. So the first one is the build I'll be league starting. That is the Poison Blade Vortex Occultist. This suits my playstyle as I will be mapping on league start. It doesn't have amazing single target, but the mapping is insane because of Profane Blooms. The single target will be just fine because of the curse buffs. You know, we'll have 66% increased curse effectiveness on critical bosses. So I think that's gonna make up for this sort of damage that we had in the past, and on top of that, you know, it really excels at mapping, and that is what I will be doing. But if, for example, I want to progress into something that has a little bit more single target later on, this build can be rerolled to the Poison Spark Occultist. So it uses much of the same gear, and the Poison Spark Occultist has also fantastic clear because of Profane Blooms and because of its coverage with sparks. And yeah, it will have great single target because of its shotgun capabilities in smaller arenas, and it looks like Forbidden Sanctum is all small rooms. So because of that, this will be sort of the natural progression that I go from into with my Poison Blade Vortex Occultist. So that is the first league starter that I do recommend. And if you want to check out more, you know, check out the Maxroll guide or check out my channel. I will be playing this all the way from early to end game. The next build is Ziz's Wave of Conviction Ignite Elementalist. The Wave of Conviction Ignite Elementalist is a great build to league start. It needs almost no gear to get going. It has Ignite Proliferation to carry it. Has a very decent single target, and is good clear speed as well. And on top of that, the great thing about it is that it can be also rerolled into some endgame blasters. And those endgame blasters are the Vortex Occultist, the Vortex Elementalist, and of course also the EK Ignite Elementalist. So Ignite builds have this thing that is called Ignite Prolif, and because of Ignite Prolif, they are able to deal damage and spread that damage across to all the monsters within a map and burn everything on the screen. As you can see here, this is a very endgame setup of the Vortex Elementalist. This is a build that was made by Ruetoo that is also now being played by a lot of people. You know, you'll be seeing this a lot. It's great because you can just put Vortex on left click and it just blows everything up. So that is a build that you can sort of progress into from the Wave of Conviction Elementalist. So make sure to check that out. All the links will be in the description of course. The next build is going to be, of course, the Poison Seismic Trap. So Poison Seismic Trap is an insane build. It's something that has been strong now for very long, you know, much to some people's disdain. But yeah, it's so good, and it's very easy to put together. It needs almost no gear. What you can see here is Jungroan taking it from the beginning all the way to pinnacle bosses in 7.5 hours. Yeah, it'd be hard to not recommend this build. It's tanky, it's fast, it deals a lot of damage, and it can be very good at bossing. It's one of those builds that racers will choose on league start because it almost needs nothing and will be able to do everything and clear maps, and yeah, make enough currency for them to then play whatever they like from there. So that is definitely, you cannot have a top 10 list at the moment without recommending Seismic Trap. Honestly, it's just that good. The next build is the Corrupting Fever Champion. This is a build from Tripolarbear, you can see here, and it was originally a Ruetoo build. So he adapted it and made it into build format, and it's also got a Maxroll guide, so make sure to check that out if you want to know more about the build. This build excels at mapping. It's just very good at mapping. It doesn't have a very good single target, although it can do all the pinnacle bosses, you know, with high investment. It's just not made for that. You know, it's just a fantastic mapper, and it's something that you should, you know, you should roll into if you just want to blast maps early, do altars, and yeah, it's also a proven build. You know, it's been a thing for a long time now, so there's many people that have really started it, many people that have had a lot of fun with it. So maybe gather some opinions about that and see if that's what you want, because it's definitely something that I recommend for this league start. The next build is Explosive Arrow Champion / Elementalist. We have here a guide that has been updated by Zizaran, and this is the champion version. Champion version is very tanky. It's still got very good damage. Clear speed is pretty good, and it's also got an Elementalist version of it. The Elementalist version of it has better clear and is also got much more single target, although it is much less tankier. So it depends on you what you prefer, whether you want to be tanky or whether you just want to deal a lot of damage and have better clear. You can choose between the two, so make sure to check those out. Champion honestly is very strong and is recommendable for hardcore, and for softcore I would just go for Elementalist personally, but you know, you can make up that choice yourself, whether you want to be huge and tanky or whether you just want to deal a ton of damage. The next build is the Boneshatter Slayer. The Boneshatter Slayer is the best melee build currently to League Start. It has a really good clear. It is very good all the way from the start of the game to the end. Honestly, it's like it surprised me with how good it is and how strong it is. From nothing all the way to the end game. It can do pinnacle bosses also in like 7.5 hours if you're a god gamer, of course. And yeah, it's capable of everything. Unfortunately, this league got a little bit of a nerf, but it is inconsequential. Honestly, you'll be able to be doing everything you need. The clear sort of suffers a little bit, but it is still a fantastic build, and it's got a Zizaran guide tied to it, so that means that it has a very good sort of documented progression and something to check out. And that is that leads us to the Poison Concoction Pathfinder. So Poison Concoction Pathfinder is also a classic. It's just a really good build. What can you say? It starts also from very early, so you'll be able to slot Poison Concoction at level 12, and you'll be able to take it all the way into endgame. It's one of the builds that I would recommend more for beginners because it needs almost nothing to get going. It needs absolutely nothing. It needs no weapon as well. So because of that, it's able to blast without needing to sort of worry about crafting a weapon or anything like that. And on top of that, it's got Plague Bear, and Plague Bear deals just a default amount of damage for free, basically, just like all poison builds. So that is just something that is you know, recommended for people that might want to actually league start into something fast that can, you know, then do something like Endless Heist, or to gather a bunch of currency in early maps and blast those as fast as possible, because it needs almost nothing to get set up, and can also be taken into endgame if you wish. And Pathfinder can be rerolled into anything else, so if you maybe want to level it all the way to endgame, later on you'll be able to, you know, play Raider or Deadeye or whatever you want to play with that Ascendancy class. And yeah, that is the Poison Pathfinder. The next build is the Toxic Rain Pathfinder. So this is a build from Zizaran, and it's also a build you can roll into from the Poison Concoction Pathfinder for like later in game. Make sure to check the build out in the description. And yeah, this is also a very fast build and very good at mapping, and can also be used to, you know, get yourself set up in early game, as it needs very little gear to get going. It's tanky as well, very tanky. This is, of course, you know, a hardcore player will be worrying about that a lot. So if you do want a tanky build that has pretty decent clear and good single target, this is the one for you. And of course, it's also one to look out for if you do want to start as something fast that can do, you know, early mapping and early currency farming as well as heist. So definitely check that out. The next build I want to talk about is the Maw of Mischief Elementalist. So Maw of Mischief Elementalist is more of the bossing type of build in this list, and it is the one that has the best single target. So yeah, it's one of those builds that is actually also buffed this league thanks to the curse changes. So definitely one of those builds that will do absurd amounts of damage. There's going to be a Maxroll guide up for that as well, so check that out. And yeah, what more is there to say? It is sort of not the best mapper, but it has amazing single target. So definitely something to look out for. It can work on a very low budget. And yeah, it is one of those builds that I would highly recommend. So next, I wanted to talk about Maxroll.gg. So Maxroll is a website that I've been working on with other colleagues of mine in Path of Exile, and we are launching the new Path of Exile builds for this league. So if you go here on Maxroll.gg and you click on Path of Exile, you will see all of the updated build guides popping up, as well as the build guides from last league. We are currently in the process of making sure that everything is updated and pushed here. So make sure to check that out. We got the build guides coming. So you click on build guides and you will have a list of everything that you can play. and we will be updating that as soon as possible. On top of that, we will have crafting and currency guides coming as well, so make sure to check that out. Grimroll will be updating all of the currency guides for this league, so if there's anything that you want to look for, so like currency and things like that, if you want to progress into endgame, make more money, Grimroll is your guy, and these are the currency guides. Make sure to have a look. So yeah, good luck everybody on 320. I hope you have a good league start. I love you all, and I hope this list has helped you make your decision, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Love you all. Peace out.